So students, in today's class we'll be talking on Sociology chapter 1, that is nature of sociology. So when you say sociology, what does come to your mind? We talk about society, about human beings and so on. Introduction. Human beings naturally have a thirst for knowledge, continuous pursuit of knowledge. Human being has inverted various branches of knowledge. So always human beings are in search of knowledge and trying to pursue something. They want something new happening in and around them. This assisted him to collect and recollect treatises of his study. He classified science as natural and social science based on the observation of his study. So, based on the observation, he divided sciences into two branches, that is natural science and social science. The former become a branch of science that deals with the subject and the matter of natural elements. So, talking about natural elements, let it be a physics, chemistry, biology, where we deal with the basic elements and we do what say practical session happens and you talk about that. But whereas the latter social science encompass the detailed analysis of society and the behavior with respect to humans. So in social science we talk about human beings, the society. So social sciences means deals with your history, like the psychology and etc. The heritage of social science dates back to 18th and 19th century, but sociology has become a permanent member of branches of social science till very recently. We know there is talk of sociology since from the time of 18th and 19th century, but recently only sociology has got recognized in the stream of social sciences. The aim and the scope of sociology is in the complete and comprehensive study of human society. So basically, what does sociology want to explain it to the people? The study of human society, where the human beings are living in, and what is the basic unit of it. Nowadays, sociology is popularly known as science of society. So, science of society, society where you people are living, and what's happening in it, and what are the other things. For its accuracy and corrections in findings with regard to the holistic study of social behaviors of human beings. So, we're not just talking about science of society and also the study of social behavior of human beings, the behavior of human beings who are living in this society, who are the pioneers of the society, who are taking the society to the next level. Auguste Comte trained in convincing others to accept this theory based on the practical realities. So Auguste Comte is considered father of sociology. So who is father of sociology? It's Auguste Comte. He argued that sociology provides scientific and systematic study of behavior of an individual. So it said sociology will talk about a particular individual and what is his behavior in this society, how particularly society is becoming part of the individual. So Auguste Comte also trained talking to people about this theory, how important it is. So here we are trying to mention some of the famous people like Herbert Spencer, Emily Durkheim, Max Weber, and many others who strongly condemned and appreciated Auguste Comte's effort. And there were some people who appreciated Auguste Comte's effort. Today, sociology has been an established cult, a subject of status. So now, sociology has got that status in the stream. By the constituted and continuous artwork and research of innumerable scholars, activities, social thinkers, and sociologists, and may who follow the footsteps of Auguste Comte and other pioneers of sociology. But now we have people who talk about it, and there are people, scholars, who are trying to do research on it and trying to give the subject a shape, and who are also the followers of Auguste Comte. Now moving on, meaning and definition. Sociology is the youngest among the social science. It joined the family of social science as a new member very recently in 19th century. So as I said earlier, sociology just recently it has been joined in the year 19th century in the streams of social sciences. So in 19th century, a French philosopher. So Auguste Comte is from French and is a philosopher. Laid the foundation of science of sociology. He is validly recognized as the father of sociology. It was he who made a general approach to the study of human society. Comte introduced the first time Auguste the term sociology for in his lectures on positive philosophy in the year 1839. So Auguste Comte introduced the term sociology in one of his lectures where he spoke about the positive philosophy in the year 1839. Since then, sociology has become the familiar to sociology. The term sociology is derived from the Latin word socius, which means companion and associate, something which is there with us. And a Greek word logos means science or study. Thus, the etymological meaning of the term sociology is study of society. So basically, where we have the derivation in the two languages, that is Latin and Greek. But basically, it is nothing but it is the study of society, where we will study about the society. Then we have definitions given by various scholars or thinkers or the sociologists. So first one is Auguste Comte. Sociology is science of social phenomena subject to nature and invariable laws, the discovery of which is an object of investigation. So sociology is something where we will talk about society and the laws in the society and the discovery of new object. Next, we have Massifer and Page. Sociology is about social relationship. So Massifer says sociology is something where it is about the relationship between the people and the society. Emily Durkheim, sociology is science of institution. So he says sociology is something like institution of science, where we have so many things, where we have so much to talk about sociology in society. Max Weber, sociology is a science which attempts the interpretation, understanding of social action. So, sociology is something where we will try to understand the social action which is happening in the society in order there be arrive to casual explanation of its cause and effects, and but we'll have the casual explanation how it happened and why it happened and what are the effects and causes of the society. Harry M. Johnson, sociology is a science that deals with social groups. So Harry says that sociology is something where we have groups and we talk about the societal groups. Maurice Ginsburg, in broadest sense, sociology is study of human interactions and interrelations. So Maurice says that where we study about sociology as a subject where human interactions, what's happening inside humans and the interrelations with other humans and the society, their conditions and consequences. So this definition seems to be more consequences. Definition seems to be more satisfactory like the above. There are many other definitions of social. So we have a lot of other definitions which are being given to sociology. So each one scholar thinks in his own way and he tries to explain what sociology is exactly and what are we talking about it. And majorly sociology means about society and the human being, not just one individual, but we're talking about the whole group of people who are living in and what are the major role, what are they trying to do in the society. Next, moving on to the origin and development of sociology. Sociology began to emerge as a separate discipline only around the middle of 19th century. It took another 50 years to assume the scientific character that it has today. So sociology was been as a separate stream. It was given a name in the 19th century, but it took almost 50 years to assume it. As we study today sociology, we give importance and we are studying on it. So it took almost 50 years to shape the subject. Auguste Comte laid the foundation to the modern sociology in the first half of 19th century, that is 1839, through his positive philosophy lecturer. But social thought did exist prior to Comte. So before the Comte, even we had importance of society, what society plays, because society is where we are living. So for 1,000 years, men thought about society in which they lived. The writings of philosophers, thinking, and lawgivers of various countries contains ideas that are sociological. So there were a lot of people like writers, philosophers, thinkers who talked about society with different countries and all of those. For example, Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, Shankaracharya's Nitya Shastra, Kautilya's Arthashastra, Manu's Dharma Shastra, Smriti, Plato's Republic, Aristotle's Politics and Ethics, Caesarius on Justice, Confucius, Analectus, Arabian thinker, Ibn Khaldun's Muqaddimah, etc. are different sources of social thought. So we can see how before August Comte only we have all of this. The people talking about society. For example, Vedas, which date back to almost 3,000 years back. In that one we had people talking about society and all of those. But it was given shape only by August Comte. So Vedas, where we have Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajurveda, Atharva Veda, which talk about society, how our Indians, the Aryans, lived in the society. From the sociological viewpoint, these thinkers could be called philosophers. So, from the point of view of sociology, we say them as philosophers who think about the society. Historians are lawgivers, historians who are recording it, and lawgivers who are trying to give a law. Missionaries and so on, but not as sociologists. But they were not given a name as sociologists. They were just called as earlier as philosophers, historians, or lawgivers. A term sociologist was given only later. The observation made and opinions held by these earlier thinkers about man and his society were not tested or verified scientifically. But what was a mistake made by the earlier people where we didn't have a scientific reason. For everything we need a evidence, but there was no evidence. We were not tested anything, we didn't verify anything scientifically. So the term sociology was not been given. Their views often become moral basis of existing society. So they mostly talk about the moral basis of existing society, how society live, what are the moral basis, how to live in a society, the caste system, etc. During the Middle Ages, also some attempts were made by the intellectuals and men of letters to understand and interpret human society. But after, people didn't stop because people had that pursuing. They had their one aim was to pursue knowledge in whatever way it is they wanted to deal. They wanted to study human beings, all of those. So they tried to, intellectuals tried to interpret the human society and its problem. However, it was only in 19th century systematic attempts were made by Auguste Comte, Spencer, Durkheim, Weber and others. So people were trying to talk about it, but only after Auguste Comte came and Spencer and many other, we had people talking about it. The study of society and to establish a separate science of society called sociology. Next, moving on, factors that contributed to the emergence of sociology. So, how sociology came into play. The beginning of the tradition of social science have been one of the major development of 19th century. In 19th century it started. Social sciences such as history, political science, economics, psychology, sociology, etc. So these are the subjects which are part of the social sciences, though have a long history of their own. So each subject has their own history, how it came into play, how it was given a name, etc. Could get a recognition as a social science. Only in 18th and 19th century, only every subject got its own name. During this period, the great intellectual process of Renaissance and Reformation and Enlightenment gave a big impetus to the continuation of the tradition of scientific thinking which had just begun. So, the Renaissance and Reformation, which happened after the Dark Age, where human beings, the men, started thinking about society in different manner. They gave a new thought, where yes, we have to talk about the society, the scientific meaning, etc. The major factors which favor the emergence of sociology are as follows. So, what are the factors where sociology came as a subject? So, the first one is impact of twin revolution, that is the French Revolution and Industrial Revolution. Next, moving on to the inspiration from the growth of natural and other social sciences. Then third one is inspiration provided by the studies of different societies and cultures. So first one is the impact of twin revolution. What is the twin revolution? The French Revolution and the Industrial Revolution. Sociology emerged in the context of sweeping changes that twin revolution, namely French and Industrial Revolution, brought in Europe, the Western country. Influence of French Revolution. So French Revolution happened in 1789. The French Revolution was most important factor in the rise of sociological thinking. The new political climate emphasized liberty, equality, and fraternity, justice, individual right and thinking. So French Revolution in France, which happened, they wanted liberty, equality, fraternity. They wanted freedom. The writers and thinkers of the day, so they were writers who were writing against the king, were particularly disturbed by the chaos and the disorder which the revolution brought in. So the writers were writing about the problems which the revolution brought. Some of the radical thinkers sought the need to find out new basis of social order or the system which had been disturbed by the political revolution. So thinkers thought that this revolution are bringing so many changes, there are so many problems. So they wanted to change in a society. This interest in the issue of social order conceived by the social thinkers, ultimately supported the cause of emergence of sociology. So what happened? Because of the social thinkers, they thought that yes, we have to bring a change in the society, and because of this all this revolution, there are so many problems happening in and so on. So they thought that we have to bring a change. So they thought that ultimately supported the cause of the emergence of sociology. This led to the emergence of sociology. Next, moving on, the impact of industrial revolution. The industrial revolution that began in England in 18th century swept through many Western societies. So all over Western societies like Europe, Germany, etc., they were industrial revolution happening. The social effects of industrial revolution were many. The revolution led to the factory system of production, which turn gave place to mechanization and industrialization. So what happens? When industrial revolution came, man was replaced by machine. So man had no more work to do anything in the factories. So everything was done by machine. So man didn't have a place in the factory. The simple rural life and domesticated industries were replaced by complex urban life and the mass production of goods. Industrial changed the direction of civilization. So what happened when industries came? Yes, man was replaced by the machine, but there were a lot of what to say. Production was more because machine is doing work. So that led to a lot of changes, and it led to the other phase of the society. Peasants left rural areas and flocked towns. Cities started growing at very fast. So what happened? Peasants, the rural people in the village sites, they left the area. They started moving to cities because if they want to survive, they have to move. So because of that, the city started developing. Growing population in cities created problems such as housing problem, water problem, sanitary security. Cities also become the centers of crime, gambling, alcoholism, established immorality, and so on. Question political orders and religious beliefs were also adversely affected. So what happened is because of shifting of people, a lot of changes brought up in society. So people started moving completely towards cities. So when they moved there, everything was problem: water, sanitary, security. There were people gambling around, religious problem, everything. So the revolution affected human thinking. So how did the revolution affect the human thinking? Social thinker and sociologists like Auguste Comte, William Delacroix, Karl Marx, Max Weber, George Simmel, and others were also very much disturbed by these great appeals. Auguste Comte, Herbert Spencer, and others strongly advocated the need to establish a separate science of society. So when they see all of this, no, so the thinkers thought that yes, we have to bring a different subject in the society. They believe that such a on independent science, that is science of society, would be able to find the solution to so many problems of the day. Their attempts in the direction resulted in the birth of new science called sociology. So they thought that if they have to bring change in the society, what should happen? Something new should happen in the society. So they thought that if we introduce a new subject, something new can happen and many changes could have gone. When people are going through so many problems in the society day by day because of French Revolution, Industrial Revolution, they thought if we talk to them about society and the upgoing problems, some solution would have been won. So the next topic we will see in the next class.